Good evening, everybody. My name is Stacy Fine-Collins, and I am excited to welcome you to the information night for registration for next school year. Before you is an amazing team of counselors and one of our assistant principals that will guide you through the evening. I just wanted to provide a very brief welcome and let you know that the information you're going to hear tonight will really introduce you to what is one of the very special things about Richfield High School. Richfield High School is small enough that we are able to be in a position where we get to know our students very well, their interests, their skills, their talent. And we are also large enough that we are able to offer a number of academic and elective or core and elective classes that help students explore those interests, explore those talents, really deepen that, and try some things that are new for them. And we really encourage our students, all students, to take the opportunities that are available at Richfield High School and some of the things you'll be learning about tonight. And for students that might be on here, I really want to encourage you to take a look at all of the rich opportunities and choices that you'll have over the next few years at Richfield to explore some areas that you're really interested in, but also try out some new things. Tonight, you're going to learn a lot about what's available in the classroom during the school day, but you will also have opportunities over the coming months to learn about clubs, activities, sports, and things available outside the academic day that also help develop you as you become part of our Richfield High School community. So with that, welcome. And I'm going to turn it over to our esteemed counseling department that is going to share their expertise on registration information for next school year. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Fine-Collins. My name is Sarah Lindy, and I am one of the counselors. I have been at Richfield High School. This is actually my 21st year. So if you have had family members go through the high school, perhaps you've seen me around. I really like being at the high school. I live in the city, and I really, really enjoy the high school age. So I'm going to go through a few slides to begin with. If we can go to the next slide, please. This is what we're going to be talking about tonight. We'll be talking about the registration process, academic planning, important dates, and then at the end of our PowerPoint slides, we will invite you to breakout sessions with Google links to each of the core areas: English, social studies, mathematics, and science, and then to all of the elective areas as well. Welcome to the class. I know this is open to everybody, but to the class of 2025. That sounds so far in the future, but it's actually kind of right around the corner. Very exciting for us to watch the kids go from 9th grade to graduation. So we high school counselors will be at Richfield Middle School virtually, meeting with the 8th graders in their advisory time periods this Wednesday, February 3rd. And at that time, we'll be giving a similar presentation, but more in depth towards students on Wednesday, an overview of academic planning, and just a little bit of ins and outs of what to expect at the high school. And then what we are planning is that at the middle school conferences, then the following week, February 10th and 11th, we would welcome parents and students to talk with current 8th grade teachers about what they would recommend for 9th grade courses. So we really want this to be a process where lots of people have input. Of course, we want students taking the classes they're most interested in, but we want them to get the input from their families and from their current teachers. Then we'll be back 2 weeks later, virtually, at Richfield Middle School on Wednesday the 24th, and meeting with those same groups of students through advisory to actually choose the classes. And then we have some to be determined dates. The Summer Spartan Camp, again, depending on what state and district guidelines are going to be regarding in-person instruction. We typically like to welcome incoming ninth graders to a Spartan Camp. It's not required, but it is an event that's available for students. It's a couple of weeks long, and where they get to come and experience the high school and get to know some teachers and tour it. And we really hope that that will be able to be in person this summer. And then every ninth grader will have an opportunity to come to orientation in the fall. And that typically includes tours, meeting their teachers, finding their schedule. If they have a locker, they can find their locker. And then about that same time as the student orientation, which would take place during the day, we'll be having a parent and family orientation and open house. And that typically is a late afternoon, early evening celebration to meet teachers, tour the building, things like that. As we move into high school, there's a lot of exciting things. We talk a lot about the available classes students can take, both core area and elective. But we like to remind everybody the final goal is that diploma. And we are on a semester basis, which means we have 2 semesters per year. And so in ninth grade, for instance, every ninth grader will take their core areas: English, social studies, science, and mathematics. So in ninth grade, they will be completing 2 semesters, fall semester, spring semester. And then fine arts requirements, we require for our diploma requirements a minimum of 2 fine arts semester classes. If your student loves fine arts and wants to take every art class in our department, that's awesome. That's great. For students, though, for their diploma requirements, we do require a minimum of 2. Every student will take 1 health class, 1 semester, so half of a year. Ninth graders will not take health. That's not an available class to them. It's 10th grade and higher. Physical education is similar to fine arts. We sometimes have students who take every class in the Phy-Ed department because they love Phy-Ed. But the minimum requirement, again, is 2 semesters of physical education for the diploma. And then the rest of the elective credits, which is a minimum of 16, we have a lot of students who complete more than 16 elective credits. Those would be courses that would be perhaps in music, global language, business technology, technology education, family consumer science, extra art classes, extra physical education classes, things like that. That's where students can choose what they'd like to take for those extra elective credits. So we are looking at a minimum of 49 semester credits, which seems like a lot. It really is. But when you do the math, and students are in school for 2 semesters at 7 classes a day, so 14 semester classes per year, students have an opportunity to actually complete 56 credits by the time they go from 9th grade to 12th grade. So even though that 49 number seems big, like, wow, I have to take 49 classes and pass 49 classes, most students take more than 49. And just to keep in mind that potential, the credit potential is actually 56 credits just from taking classes. And then I'm going to introduce Mrs. Oki for the next few slides.
Hi, I'm Jessica Oki, and I am another one of the counselors at the high school. I am the counselor for the class of 2023, so current 10th graders, and then I'll follow them into 11th grade. I've worked at Richfield. This is my 19th year, and like Sarah said, I really love working at Richfield, and I'm also living in this community, so it's a great place to be. So this next part that I'm going to talk about is the planning guide. Registration is something that happens every year, but going into it, we'd like students to be able to see the big picture. And so we provide them with a planning sheet, and there's this little grid that has a 4-year planning guide on it. So those requirements that you heard Sarah talk about are put in there: the 4 years of English, the 4 years of social studies, and then the 3 years of science and math are plugged into the chart for them. You'll see it's listed in the fourth year with parentheses because it's not required, but it is recommended, especially students who want to go on to a four-year college. It's highly recommended. We're on a 7-period day, so then you can see that the remainder of the schedule gets filled in with electives. We did not specify on this four-year planning chart when they would take their 2 credits of fine arts or when they would take their 2 credits of physical education because that's flexible. They can do it whenever they choose. They just have to remember to plug them in there somewhere. We did plug health into 10th grade. It would be either first semester or second semester. It's not required that they do it in the 10th grade, but that is when most students get that requirement done. It's when it first becomes available to them. And so a lot of students like to get that taken care of. So that we penciled that in to 10th grade as a recommendation for them. So this gives the big picture. They can plan out. When they're looking at courses, they can look at things like prerequisites, classes that are required before another class would be an opportunity for them. So they can pencil in an order of classes that they're interested in taking throughout high school. So this is a really good tool that we encourage students to use. They do have to fill it out with some flexibility in mind because scheduling is complex and they might not always get their first choice. Like they might think, oh, first semester, 9th grade, I would really love to take culinary arts, but sometimes it just doesn't fit in the combination of classes that they're taking. So they plan this four-year guide with flexibility in mind, knowing that some things might shift order and they might have to make some adjustments, but going into it, it's good to have an idea of what they want to do. And then I want to talk a little bit about our honors programming. We have rigorous courses available in all of the core subject areas. They tend to, they have different titles or categories. Some are called honors, some are called college prep. And then we have AP and college in the schools courses. And then next slide, I'll be talking a little bit more about AP and college in the schools because those can be college credit earning opportunities. The honors and college prep courses are typically in 9th and 10th grade. And again, they're more rigorous courses to help prepare them for those college level courses. We have some reasons listed here on why students should think about taking a rigorous course. I feel like the primary reason is these courses will best prepare them for college level courses. The rigor of the reading and the analysis that students put in really helps prepare them for what's next. Another reason that's not listed there would be that when they go to apply to colleges, more selective colleges like to look and see what types of classes the students took in high school because they want to know that the student is prepared. So taking rigorous courses makes them stronger candidates for selective colleges and universities. Another thing in our listed there is that our honors courses are weighted in the GPA calculation. So that means like on a 4-point scale where an A is worth 4 points, in an honors class, it's worth more than that. It would be worth a 4.4. So it's a little bit of a boost to the GPA to recognize that increased rigor. It does also say there that some of the classes lead to the potential to earn college credit, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next slide. When you select an honors class, it is important to know that there are expectations. There is more homework. It is a commitment when a student selects an honors course. It's a very personal choice. What's right for your best friend might not be the same thing that's right for you. You have to take a lot of things into consideration. What are my strengths? What are my interests? What am I willing to commit to this course? So it's important for students to look at themselves and take the input from their family. And as Sarah mentioned, at parent-teacher conferences, their core teachers will be willing to give them some feedback and recommendations where they feel like their strengths are and what they would recommend for their courses in 9th grade. So I mentioned that some of our courses are available for college credit. There's 2 main options for potentially earning college credit. One is called College in the Schools, and the other is called AP or Advanced Placement through the College Board. Most of these course opportunities are in 11th and 12th grade, but there are a few available in 9th and 10th grade. I'll define the two CIS course, or College in the Schools course, is a course that's taught through the University of Minnesota, but it's taught on our campus at our school by our teachers. So a student who takes a CIS course is enrolled with us, but is also enrolled with the U of M. They get their course credit on our transcript, but also on a U of M transcript. So it counts as a college credit. Then an AP course is a little bit different. It's taught on our campus again by our teachers, but in order to earn a college credit, they have to take an exam at the end of the year through the College Board. It's a national exam. It's not created by us, it's created by the College Board. And then the score on that exam is something that the students send to the college, and then each college and university has their own credit awarding policy, as to whether or not they would award credit for that score and how much credit they would award. So you can see we have a variety of different AP and CIS courses available to students. They're open, most of them are open to all students. Some of the CIS courses have specific guidelines that are set by the U of M, and so we have to follow the U of M guidelines since they are U of M courses. But there are some advantages to taking these courses, starting early on your college credits and saving money on tuition. So those are some good advantages. One of the AP courses that you see listed there is AP Human Geography, and that is something that all ninth graders take. And I think that is what we're moving to in our next slide. So I will pass it off to Ms. Zala.
Good evening. I am so grateful to be with you this evening and with our counseling team to share with you what the transition to ninth grade looks like if you are a ninth grade student. And if you're just on this webinar checking out Richfield High School, I hope you're finding your own path through our courses that we've talked about. Ms. Oki said a little bit about what AP is, and we have all of our ninth graders take AP Human Geography in ninth grade. We do that for a couple different reasons. One being, we all believe that you can be geographers. You can understand how people move through countries and continents, and you can study those patterns, and we believe in the power of your brains to be able to take an AP course as a ninth grader, get a taste for what that feels like, so that you can continue exploring different sorts of rigorous courses that we offer at Richfield High School. So that's one of the reasons. The other reasons is we have fantastic teachers. So they've been teaching the course now 3 years as a team, and they are excited to welcome you as our next round of ninth graders in AP Human Geo. And all of that is to say, we hope you continue taking rigorous courses once you get here. So we give you a little bit of a taste of it in ninth grade, and then hoping you find your pathway through all of the course offerings that we have at the high school. If you're a little bit worried right now about taking a rigorous course and coming to the high school, it's a big transition year, you don't have to worry, because the faces that you see, your counselors, are here to support you. And then we have, on the next slide, some supports. So if you're feeling at all nervous about taking an advanced placement course, know that we have support from special education teachers, co-teachers. If you need a little bit of help with the reading or the writing components, we have an instructional coach here at the high school that helps our teachers deliver content, this rigorous content, in the best way possible to our ninth graders. You can choose to take a seminar support course. That's a course that meets every other day that supports the learning that you're having in your regular course. And then we have some test prep applications that students can use if you're thinking about taking that AP course or test at the end of the year for college credit.
Thanks, Carrie. And before I pass it off to Ms. Jastro, I forgot to mention, those were the on-campus college credit offerings that we have. Students also have and it's not listed on this slide, but as they progress through high school, they have the opportunity to earn college credits off campus as well through a program called PSEO. We start to give students more and more information on that as they get older. There are very limited opportunities in the 10th grade. Most of our students who pursue this option do so in 11th and 12th grade. But I just wanted to mention that as well, that is an opportunity for students as they get older that is off campus. So now I will pass it off to Ms. Jastro.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Danielle Jastro, and I am one of the counselors here at Richfield. This is my second full year at Richfield, and it has been an awesome place to work. Super supportive staff and wonderful students. So I'm really excited to be here. So when we talk about support for all students, Ms. Valla mentioned specifically around the AP Human Geography support, but we also offer additional resources for our students. We have something called seminar courses. These courses are offered every other day for the entire year, and they're tied to specific content courses. So for example, AP Human Geography would, you could opt to take a seminar course, and within the seminar, the teachers that teach the course specifically are there to support students, to review material, to provide additional options for students to practice and engage with the work that's happening in the content class, and really to better support their learning. So those courses are available for select 4 core courses throughout the 4 years at Richfield. We also offer college access programs, College Possible and Upward Bound. These are programs that have specific requirements for enrollment, but are there to support students as they go through their post-secondary planning. So those are a couple of options too if students are looking for additional things. We have the Richfield Health Resource Center that's open on Wednesdays from 1 to 5, and that provides a lot of resources and services for our students. Students can get eye exams and general checkups and meet with doctors and therapists and all that stuff there. So that's a fantastic support that we are very lucky to have within our school. We also have the Spartan Food Shelf, which with construction has been kind of put on pause, but we're excited as we're wrapping that up to get that back up and running, and once we get our students back in classes. So resources for students, both food and school resources, notebooks, pens, pencils, for students who need them. So those are available during the day and or especially after school that students can stop by and pick those up. We do have school-based therapy, so we have agreements with outside providers that come to the school and meet with students, and they work with them to deal with any of the situations that students are dealing with. So if students need an additional person to talk to, they're looking for therapy, but often it's hard to get out and to get access to an outside provider. These providers come right to the school so students can just step away from class for a short time and meet with them and get that support. And then we have our student support services. And our student support services, Ms. Kelly, thank you, are our counselors and social workers. And we're very lucky we have 4 full-time counselors. So Ms. Kelly joined us this year, rounding us up to 4 full-time counselors. We have 1 full-time social worker and 1 part-time social worker that are on site. And with student support services, we provide really a wide range of support for students as they navigate their high school careers. So there's academic planning. We touched on that with Ms. Oki, going through what courses are you going to take not only next year, but as you move through towards planning for your college courses and in exploring those interests. We do college and career readiness planning and lessons through advisory. So students meet daily within their advisory right now, and they're getting lessons once a week specifically around college and career readiness. So things like self-exploration and career exploration and college research and all of those sorts of things are happening within their advisories. We help with college and financial aid counseling. Those are additional services that happen outside usually of the school day. So we do parent and student information sessions after school. We do go to student classrooms and provide information. We have consultation and collaboration with community agencies. As we mentioned, the external therapy providers that come in, but also other support agencies around the community that we work with directly. We, like our college and career planning and learning, we also offer social emotional learning that happens through advisories. And that's been really phenomenal this year. It's super impressive with our social workers and all the work that they've done as students and families have worked through what it is to be distance learning and what it is to not have the same experience that school normally brings. But they've provided a ton of resources, everything from meditation and calming exercises to reframing things, and it's just phenomenal. So that is something that we do provide as well. We do school-wide developmental guidance, and that's curriculum that the counselors provide, typically through advisory classes that are in addition to the college and career readiness planning. And then we offer homeless transportation and 504 case management. So with those 6 professionals that you see there, we are there to support basically everything that you need outside of the classroom. Ms. Kelly.
Hello. I'm going to try and do the slides and also talk. So give me 1 second. There we go. So upcoming registration dates. Luckily, there's not a ton here to remember, but for those of you in 8th grade, like we talked about a little bit earlier in the presentation, we will actually be coming into advisories on Wednesday, just in a couple of days, but your actual registration date will start on February 24th, and we will be with you, and your own counselors will also be in you during that time as well. So maybe, pencil that in. For those of you who are going to be joining us next year who are already in 9th, 10th, or 11th grade, the registration window will open on February 8th and go through February 26th, and that will happen through your AirPod or advisories. And all students during the month of February, during the registration window, will have the opportunity to meet with their counselor one-on-one. We will be available for that through AirPods and through advisories. So no worries on that. Okay. And now we're going to talk a little bit about sort of like the nuts and bolts behind the registration. And so you can see, I'm actually going to take us straight over to the website. So bear with me. Sorry. Okay. So rhs.richfieldschools.org, and this is something that I recommend that you do with me right now, so that you're able to easily find, because from here I'm going to show you where to go into the breakout session, so I don't want anyone to get lost. But so I'll just give everyone like a minute to get onto the RHS, richfieldschools.org, and the website will look like this. So we are going to go over to the menu, and we're going to click on that, and a big window will open up. So rhs.richfieldschools.org, and then menu, click on menu. And then we're just going to go down and hover. You don't have to click on academics, you can just hover there. And then we're going to go to the course catalog. So I'm just going to say that again for anyone who might be just joining. So it's the Richfield website, Richfield High School website, rhs.richfieldschools.org. Click on menu. That'll open up, hover over academics, and then we'll go to the course catalog. So you can see right there we have the registration fair. So this is going to be basically your home base for everything registration related. We have a course catalog in here with course descriptions, those academic planning guides that Ms. Oki showed you for the 4 years of high school, the dates that you'll need, and then there will also be some registration forms that are just academic planning guides. So you can go down here to look at those. And then in terms of our breakout sessions, which is what we're kind of going to go straight into from here, once you're at this site, we're going to have presentations, but also sort of just Q&As with actual members of the departments within the high school courses. So as you can see, we have art, business, our dual language immersion, English, I'm not going to go through all of them, but so we encourage you to stop and shop at as many of these as you have time for. The teachers are in there. Actually, they've been in there for 2 minutes now. And they are ready to talk and answer with you. There will be interpreters as well. I just want to show you though, let's go to the art. So you can see a little bit about the art. There is a visual here. And then if you are currently an RPS student, so if you are an 8th grader at RMS, you can actually just click right here to get the link to the presentation and a whole list of the Google Meets for each department. If you're not an RPS student, that's totally fine. All you need to do is register to attend for one. You only need to do this one time. You put your name and your email, and we will email you a list of all the links to the Google Meets. So, and if anyone has any questions about that, you can hang out and you can put that in the chat and we'll help you out with that. But that's going to be sort of the rest of the event, is just take your time, hop around to different departments, talk to staff members, ask your questions, and just kind of get to know the offerings that we have. Now, if I can find my way back to the slide. So we went to the RHS website together, and that concludes the registration presentation portion. The remainder is basically for you to get to know our classes and get to know kind of what you want to register for next year.
Morgan, we do have a couple questions. There were a couple parents who asked, how do their students register if they're not currently in Richfield Public Schools? What's the registration?
Question.
I can take that. Thank you, Jennifer. For students who are not currently at Richfield Middle School, we would welcome you to schedule a registration appointment with us. We've been doing virtual registration appointments by calling our school counseling office. And I can provide that phone number right now. Our secretary, her name is Doris. She's great. She will schedule a time, video chat or a phone call with us. And her phone number is 612-798-6120. 612-798-6120. And we'd be happy to help. And again, probably I would guess anytime during the month of February, as soon as next week through the month of February, but even into March, we're fine with working with your schedule as well.
Okay, we have another question about DLI, the dual language immersion, and are taking DLI classes considered electives at the high school? Do they take up one of your elective slots, or are they part of your core classes?
That's also a very good question. And if you have more specific dual language questions, our DLI Spanish language arts teacher is part of the English language arts presentation tonight, so you can click through there. But for 9th and 10th grade, for our DLI program, students will be taking Spanish language arts 9 and Spanish language arts 10. That counts as their English requirement. I will say that a number of students often take another English class. So if students opt to take, for instance, Honors English 9 and Spanish language arts, then the Spanish language arts would count as an elective credit. So in essence, students can take 2 courses in 9th and 10th grade. One will count toward their English requirement, one will count toward their elective pool. In 11th grade, students will be taking an AP Spanish course. That is elective, and in 12th grade, the AP Spanish course is elective.
Okay, it looks like there's one last question. How long has the high school been doing AP Human Geography for all 9th graders?
I'll let Carrie take that.
I believe this is our 3rd year. 4th?
Right, so
Yeah.
3rd or 4th. Okay.
It's our 4th because our seniors took it.
Okay. Someone else wants to know, do students have to take Spanish?
Nope,
We have no language requirement. I will say world language for four-year college and university admission is highly recommended, a minimum of 2 years, but we do not have a graduation requirement for Spanish, French, or German.
And someone else would like to know if we offer sign language.
Unfortunately, no. We do have, I do have access to a PSEO program. North Central University offers sign language. So I actually had a student take a sign language PSEO course last fall.
Great. Well, that concludes all of the questions that people have submitted. So hopefully everyone is over now at the different department presentations on the website.
Yes, please do visit our teachers in the Google Meets. They would love to chat with families.
So for anyone who is still here, thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to conclude this presentation. Please take time to check different departments, go to the website, talk to different instructors. All of those Google Meet rooms will be open until 8 o'clock tonight.